Welcome everyone to Mastering Maize and Blue. This is episode, I believe, maybe 3. We will be talking with the Center for Social Justice and Inclusion. My name is Solomon Dudley, and then there's Bridgit.
I'm Bridgit Bradakis. I want to first start off by saying what a way to end Pride Month with a discussion about the Center for Social Justice and Inclusion. I'm a bioengineering and mechanical engineering dual major. This will be my 3rd year at Dearborn, but I'm going to be a senior in standing. I got involved very early, as early as I could with different clubs. I know a lot of my friends have actually started clubs, so that influences how I got involved. So first gen comes from me being a first gen student and wanting to help provide resources for first gen students on campus. And then swing dance and glee club come from my friends. And then my favorite book is To Kill a Mockingbird. And I think right now it's very emotionally charged for me. I'm actually going to go back and read it this month.
Amazing. I'm Solomon. So my major is Health and Human Services with a concentration in public health. I am involved as well on campus. I am a team manager for men's ice hockey and lacrosse, as well as a community assistant at the union. And my favorite superhero, I guess we can talk about superheroes, is Superman. And because I love Superman ice cream, a Michigan tradition. So welcome everyone to Mastering Maize and Blue. Today's discussion will be held with none other than Sharia Carter from Center for Social Justice and Inclusion. I guess first off, welcome, Ms. Sharia.
Thank you for the invite. Excited to be here.
Thank you for accepting it. We are so excited to have you on. This series, of course, is geared towards our first year and transfer students, but in the midst of everything going on, we want to give them some advice, wisdom, but also the resources that they need to be successful on campus. So, of course, we're talking about ITS and we're talking about undecided resources in student life, but today we'll talk about Center for Social Justice and Inclusion, which is where you are from, and which is one of the many things you represent on this campus. So I guess our first question, I'll start off, is how long have you been at UM-Dearborn?
Wow, so you're trying to get me to tell my age almost. Whoa, trick question. So I actually started at the university August of 2006. So I've been here for a while. So that's what, about 14 years? Will be 14 years in August. So it's been an amazing experience. So happy to be on campus, happy to be doing this work. And it's been a great ride thus far.
That's crazy. I actually didn't know how long you've been a part of the campus. That's amazing. That is truly amazing. So Bridgit, you can take it off.
How would you describe the campus and community, and what is your favorite part about U of M Dearborn?
So I would describe the campus community. I think we are student-centered. I think there's a certain care and compassion that I think you get from our campus that you may not get other places. And I think it's fair to say, it's just like any other place. Can you please everyone? No. Will you do everything right? No. But I think with our campus, there's this sense of, there's a sense of family. There's a sense of we want what's best for our students. I think for me personally and for my office, and I can really speak to like particularly student affairs, and I think honestly a lot of places on campus, there is this real open door sense that I feel. If you ever come into my office, my door is usually open. Unless I have someone in there. And that's purposeful, right? Because I always want students to feel like they can pop in. without an appointment, you know, kind of removing that formality and, you know what, hey, just stopping by, I got a quick question. Hey, yep, come on in. Unless I'm, like I said, on the phone or with another student, I want students to pop in. I want them to just have a seat, take a deep breath, share whatever it is that's on their minds, talk about their day, talk about whatever, right? Just plop down in the chair and just hang out. So I really think that that's a feel across campus. I would hope that, you know, just like that open door mentality, just come on in and hang out, have a seat, and let's chat. And kind of thinking about that next question, you know, what is my favorite part of U of M-Dearborn? I think I work with some amazing folks. I also think that our students are amazing. And especially when you talk about a 14-year career, I've definitely seen some folks come and go, right? You know, I've seen the quiet freshman turn into that senior that's, you know, running things, right? And that to me is just, that's that warm, fuzzy feeling, right? You know, when you see people grow and you see them just take off and, you know, and become who they're planning to be, right? You know, this is sort of like that launch pad is what I think about, you know, starting student organizations, figuring out who they are in so many other facets. That's the part that I love.
I appreciate everything about that answer. I really do. Just being a transfer student, this is actually, I'm going into my 4th semester at Dearborn this upcoming fall. So
Okay.
just being a transfer student, it was an interesting time when I came in, just because I'm coming from one institution to another. So just the fact of the transition itself, it can be tough.
Yeah, for
When I
sure.
was born, at first it was a little bit difficult, but as I was on the campus, I really did feel the open door policy, which is what you mentioned and what you truly embody. I guess, so that leads me to my next question. So of course, your policy is open door. What are some of your, well, actually, first off, what's your title? What's your overarching responsibilities? And then what are some of your other opportunities that you love to do or that you are a part of, just to give some more background?
Sure. So I'm the director of the Center for Social Justice and Inclusion. Prior to that, we were the Women's Resource Center. So I've sort of expanded my umbrella when it comes to other populations on campus. And so now the Center for Social Justice and Inclusion encompasses women at U of M-Dearborn, veterans at U of M-Dearborn, LGBTQ plus trans at U of M-Dearborn, and multicultural in the sense of race, ethnicity, and intercultural populations on campus. So now all of those things fall under this new umbrella of the Center for Social Justice and Inclusion. We formalized officially about a year ago, it'll be a year tomorrow, actually, July 1, we became official. And so I have an assistant director, Tom, whose main responsibility is veterans. That's his strong background. I also have Susan Estep, who does a lot with gender and sexuality. And so I've sort of been navigating the multicultural piece, that race and ethnicity. So, and along with Susan, I think she's been a big help in that, you know, that intersectionality. And that's really what our office is about. You know, one of the things that we've come to realize is that you don't come to our campus as one thing. I am a Black woman. Like, you can't, I can't pick and choose that, right? So helping navigate the programs and the events that cut across those intersectionalities, it made sense, right? So those are some of so when I think about main responsibilities, it's ensuring that our office is running, right? You know, so a lot of budget responsibilities, trying to, again, navigate programs and events that make sense for our office. I also, I am responsible for some of the sexual assault prevention trainings, which many of you might remember from last year, hauling all the students into the computer labs and getting that EverFi launched, right? So that is a a responsibility of mine, ensuring that that is solidified, the content is there, and that we are ready to launch every year. We did a little switch of that this year, obviously, but we're on a different platform, and the students now receive an email, and so they can do it virtually as well. So, but then also when I think about my responsibilities, it's also that partnering piece. I think it's really important to understand that social justice and inclusion does not happen just from the CSJI, right? It doesn't just happen in the AAAS department. It doesn't just happen in women and gender studies. It has to be a collaborative effort. And the sooner, we acknowledge that and foster that, the better off we are, right? We do a lot of collaborations with a lot of the academic departments. We do collaborations with a lot of the student orgs, because that's what we're here for, right? The students are the main ingredient to all of this. And so one of the things that we are truly working on, especially as campus is opening, at some point we'll open back up, is creating spaces for populations to come together and be with folks that look like them, that represent things like them. In the meantime, we are figuring out how to do a lot of these programs virtually. So I encourage people as they're watching this, and Solomon and Bridget, as you all think about different things, are there speakers that come to mind? Are there programs and events that come to mind that you would like to see happen? I think that's the other piece, is our office doesn't want to do all this planning for things that students don't want, right? So figuring out how to get that student voice to the table, I think that's also part of my job, and using platforms such as this to say, hey, what do you all want? Reach out to me. You can set up appointments on my calendar. We can set up Zoom meetings. I'm okay with all of that, right? But we want to ensure that as we move into this virtual engagement, that we're bringing you things that you want. So definitely reach out, like I said, a speaker, a program, event, an idea, and you're trying to figure out how to make it happen. Let's talk.
I definitely remember that switch last year doing tours and having to completely change what I said when I was on the second floor of the University Center. People are always wondering where the room was going to be, and I was like, it's over here. Ignore these signs. Don't worry about this. Don't look at the man behind the cloth. Just
right.
It's not here.
Right. Yeah. It was a major transition, and we're getting there, right? We're still not where we would like to be, but I think that's the beauty in a lot of things, that there's always room to grow, and our office is no different, right? We are open to, we are looking for those growth moments, those growth opportunities. And like I said, we want student voice at the table, so.
All right. What is your favorite part about your job?
I like making it happen, right? I love when someone will come to me and say, hey, I want to do this, but our student org has no money. We don't know where to start or how to start. And so being able to kind of wave that magic wand and make something happen for a student organization, I enjoyed that. When the world was open, I enjoyed students going to conferences and having those experiences with students who are like them, like-minded like them. I really enjoyed that. When we were the Women's Resource Center, one of the big initiatives from our office was the NICWSL conference, the National Conference for College Women Student Leaders. And we would take a couple busloads of students to Washington, D.C. for this conference. And it was amazing. And to watch people, even from, getting on that bus on day one, like, I don't want to talk to anybody, to as we're coming back from the conference, they've already mapped out their new student org, and, they've connected with folks on the bus, and things are happening. So that, I like watching the magic happen, when you can see it unfold right before your eyes. That to me is the best part of my job.
I love that. I love that answer as well. So that would lead me to the next question. So there are multiple different intersectionalities and different populations and communities that are represented or that the goal of CSGI is for them to be represented. What are some of the unique facts or any other things that our incoming students and transfer students should know about that makes CSGI special? I guess what else makes you guys, what else makes us run? Like what makes it special?
Yeah, so I think that it's important to know that if you don't fit into one of these populations, that you can still engage with CSJI, right? Be as an ally. You know, I think that's very important, and we really want to get that message out. It's not just for people who identify as a veteran within the LGBTQ community, within a multicultural background, or anything along those lines. You can be an ally and want to know how you can further move the injustices of the world, right? And, you know, that to me doesn't matter. We're looking for people that's willing to do the work, people who's willing to share their experiences, boots on the ground, right? So I think just because you don't identify in a population that our office markets, that you can't engage with the CSJI. So definitely want to throw that out there. We are open to everyone that wants to do the work, and like I said, be an ally and be a part of these communities. So definitely want to put that out there. But some unique facts, again, I think as we are forming this, I think that's sort of the good thing about it. It's still forming, and we still have time to tweak things. We still have time to look at some events, some programs, some, again, how do these things intersect? How do we bring the best programming to the forefront? And so, again, I think it's important that we figure that part out. And again, I feel like CSJI will always be a work in progress, because social justice, we should always be doing that. We should always be inclusive, right? So this work is never done, no matter what. This is an office that will be around for a very long time, because these issues have been around and they're going to continue to be around. So I see this work being the longevity of this work, and just, again, making it stronger and better.
What are some of the events that you're most proud of that your office has facilitated?
Ooh, that's a tough one. So I think I have several. I think one that's always going to resonate high on my list is Take Back the Night, that you actually have here. Take Back the Night has been long-standing on our campus. It has been one of those programs that brings a lot of people together. So when you talk about intersectionality, we've been doing this work for a long time, right? When I think about that intersectionality piece. Take Back the Night removes those barriers. It brings about this vulnerability to our campus, and it creates a safe space for our students to share. And that will forever be my favorite part. And so literally, that's next on our agenda as a team. How do we still make this happen? How do we still create this safe space? Because it's always well attended. It's one of the most diverse crowds I've ever seen. It's just remarkable how a campus comes together to make this happen. So that's probably my most favorite event every year, all the time. And then I just think, like I said, Nick Whistle stands out for a while, because that's something that was sort of long standing. One of the things I can appreciate, the student veterans, and with Tom and his team, they do a 9/11 recognition. And when he came over to the team, I went for the first time, and they had some speakers. So that was because you remember where you were on 9/11, and just having other people share their perspectives. That was a good program as well. And I think one of the things I also enjoyed, at the beginning of the fall, there was an LGBT welcome reception. And so that was nice to just be in the space and to touch base with folks. And again, sort of create that open door policy as best as you can. Because again, I'm coming into this work, I'm coming into this fold. And so making those connections, those are really important to me.
I
And then, like I
remember
said, we just do a lot of stuff. So it's hard to kind of, you know.
one of my favorite events that I remember is it was the fall semester, this past fall semester, they did the sexuality paintings where they kind of like, you went as like a pansexual or bisexual and you went in and you did like a painting. And I remember walking to the university center for a shift after that had happened, and I just saw a bunch of people walking out like smiling with canvases in their hands, like so proud of what they had done because it represented what they identified as, and like it was heartwarming to see that because I knew a lot of people really appreciated having those events.
Yeah, yeah. And now we're trying to figure out how to do these things virtually, right? Like this is, you know, we're all trying to shift now. And how do we still bring those programs where students can participate safely? You know, I think that's a new something that we have to think about with programming, because some people are at home where it's not safe for them to do that, you know, to do things like that. So, you know, we just have to be creative and thoughtful in our work now.
Yeah, that's I guess one thing that the past, I guess almost it'll be 4 months. Wow, 4 months since the world, I guess, took a collective deep breath and shut down.
Yeah.
It's been a really interesting time just from my own personal experience in this, watching everything either shut down or or come up. Is this how creative we truly are?
Yeah.
It's really forced us to look at how we do things and how we used to do things and how we need to do things going forward, because what worked last time isn't always going to work the next time. And I think just this time, with everything going on in the world, it's really special to see individuals who used to have their voices silenced or even just, or not as loud. They're gaining some bass in their voice, and they're able to speak up, or they're having individuals speak up for them in a good way. And I really think that's special, especially like where we're at right now. There's a lot going on.
Yes.
There's, we have everyone here. We have the students here on this campus who are willing to do the work, who are willing to go out and have boots on the ground. And I really think that's not by coincidence. I don't think that's by coincidence. Like that, like this doesn't just happen. Like
Absolutely.
like we're here at the exact same time talking about this, and for it to all happen right now in this moment, where like we're all here. Like this is a time where we can all have a voice. And I guess that leads into the next question. So how can I get involved? How can students, first year students, transfer students, even current students, get involved with the work that CSJI does, but also how can they take the work that CSJI and implement that into their daily life or into everything else that they do in their respective organizations, so on and so forth?
Absolutely. So I think the first way, definitely follow us on social media. We have a Facebook page. Watch for the, you know, events that are coming up in the all student emails. I think those are definitely certain ways. So when we're promoting an event, join us. So something that we're actually trying to put together is a discussion on just mercy. You know, right now that is, granted, I understand it's summertime, you know, but we need to have this discussion, right? And so it's free on a lot of platforms. And so we're going to be, you know, releasing a date where we're opening it up to discussion. You know, what were people's thoughts about that movie? And what are some takeaways? So we're excited about just those different types of programs that, again, a platform that can invite students to have a voice. So I think those are ways to be part of CSJI. Again, Facebook, watching for emails, setting up appointments with us. You know, we want to know what's on your mind. We want to know how we can support you. We want to know if you have program event ideas. We're open to hearing you. Can we do every event that someone brings to us? Absolutely not, you know. But you know, if you're with a student org and you're thinking about something, you know, reach out to us and let's figure out how we can partner and make things bigger and better. You know, I think we're louder as a collective, right? You know, people, you know, whispers are one thing, but you can't ignore the loud boom, right? So let's bring our voices together and let's make some noise, right?
Wow. Wow. Bridgit, feel free to take over. I need to take a deep breath.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot about bringing things that you might have learned in during events into your everyday life and spreading those types of ideas to other people and communicating and having those discussions and facilitating it, because this office can hold as many events as they want, but if people aren't taking it to heart and taking the information and the importance that those events hold into their everyday lives, then it isn't as worth it. So it all comes back down to the student and how they spread that information again. So is there an organization, fair, or events that you are currently offering or will be offering soon?
Yeah, so just kind of thinking about, like I said, that one event that we're trying to work out some dates now with our team to get that on the calendar. But we are always part of like the new student org fairs and things like that. We're always trying to be at those events. We don't have anything scheduled just for our office currently. But we do try to take advantage of those events that the university is offering and having a voice at those tables. So I know they're doing like some admitted student receptions, like there's some things going on. And then things like this, you know, I take my hat off to you all for the creativity behind this and just the conversation. You know, sometimes you forget what, you know, when you all posted the one picture and I'm like, oh yeah, we did do that. Oh yeah, we did do that. You know, like we've been at home for so long, and again, trying to think about just that next thing to do and making sure things move, that you do forget about some of the things that your office has done. So thank you for that great reminder. And I just think, again, anytime that there's an opportunity for us to be at the table, we will take that opportunity. So look for us, like I said, at, you know, if OSL is going to be doing something for incoming students, we'll have a table there. If you all need anything as orientation leaders and you want to invite us back to something, we'll be there.
So if I have a question or I'm interested in something related to this, who should I contact and how?
Awesome question. So you can definitely email social justice inclusion at umich.edu. And that goes to our team. We are pretty responsive. And again, we're happy to meet with folks. You can find us via our website. If you, again, Google us on the UM-Dearborn.edu in the search box, you can find us there. We're happy to meet with folks. We're happy to take phone calls. I know some people are kind of zoomed out, so we're happy to do Google Hangout, Blue Jeans, and good old phone. So however people want to chat, I'm certainly open to that.
Yeah, actually at the end of our slides, we have the contact info. So if you weren't able.
Oh, awesome.
No problem. So I'm a new student and I'm transferring in, or it's my first year. What advice would you give to me?
I would tell you to talk to people. You know, I think when folks come to campus, they kind of come with blinders on, and I'm here to do orientation, I'm here to register for classes, I'm here to do X, Y, and Z. Have a conversation with folks, get to know people, get a phone number, right? Connect with people. because you never know. And I'm not saying everybody has to be best friends on like day one, you know, but I do think there's a sense of community building that can happen. So talk to the people in your classes, reach out to folks, reach out to your professors. Even if you are understanding the material, reach out to them anyway. In the event that you're going to need a letter of recommendation for a scholarship, an internship, whatever the case may be. And then I would say, always tell students, and you two have probably heard me say this, use me. You know, faculty, this is what we're here for, right? We are here, use us. You know, you may have a connection with me and you may be most comfortable with me, and I can maybe make that next introduction, right? So, you know, talk to folks, use the resources that are available to you. This stuff is here for the benefit of you. The writing lab, the language lab, join a student org. And, you know, as a new student, you don't have to join 10, but find one and do it well.
Mm.
And if it's not there, create it.
Wow. Wow.
You have that authority. You have that ability, right? If it's not what you want, don't say, well, I'm not going to join anything because it's not there. Create it.
Well, it's been a lot. This conversation has been very fruitful and invigorating, insightful. So let's wrap it up with something fun. So if you could just tell us a fun fact about you, something, even if it's quirky, if it's funny, we're all ears. We've heard it all. So feel free to share. Feel free to share. We're talking to our future students, so this is something that you can connect with them on.
So, fun fact, I have a younger brother, and we are literally 20 years, 6 months, and 1 day apart. So when students think that I don't understand them, oh, trust me, I do understand them. I just had a brother navigate through college. So yeah, I get it. I definitely get it. So that's a fun fact. 20 years, 6 months, and a day. What was my mother thinking? I have no idea. But that's definitely a fun fact. Another fun fact. Ooh. Trying to think of a fun fact. Okay, so since this quarantine, I've started watching Paternity Court a lot. I don't know. I don't know how I got into Paternity Court, but it's become like my new favorite show. And yes, I'm admitting that publicly. Can't believe I just did that, but yeah. And another fun fact, for a milestone birthday, I did 3 countries via a cruise. So I did Spain, France, and Italy.
That's cool.
With my daughter would have been 8 or 9. And so I took my daughter with me, and we did 3 countries. And that was like the most rewarding trip in my entire life, to expose her to that. And so, yeah, those are my fun things.
Well, I guess, Bridget, if you would like to say anything else. If not, we can start to wrap it up, unfortunately.
The only thing I want to add is that people are resources. So yeah, use the people on campus. When I always preach to my incoming freshmen and to even my friends that we have a ton of resources on campus, know them, because even if you don't need them, someone else might. But people are included in that. You've got professors and faculty and staff that maybe have gone through a similar situation, or have met someone going through a similar situation, or even just maybe know who to ask about the situation you're going through. So it's very important to know who to ask the right questions to, and knowing people on campus is one of those, one bit to that, to asking the right questions.
Absolutely. And I think, if I don't have the answer, I'm going to figure it out. We'll make some calls and, figure out who would have the answer. So absolutely use us.
Well, on the topic of highlighting you all, contact info is on the screen. So you can contact the great Sharia Carter. Here's her email, snc@umh.edu, or feel free to contact the Social Justice and Inclusion Center at their email at umh.edu. Unfortunately, we have to wrap it up, but thank you so much for accepting our invitation. This has been, as I said, very insightful, invigorating. It's also been very energizing. I think we need as much, we need wisdom, but we also need just something to give us some energy and just something to wake us up. Like we're living in really interesting times right now, very volatile, kind of uncertain, kind of changing, but it's exciting all at the same time. So I think just being able to leverage what we have around us for the better, we can do some really cool things. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Well, incoming students, transfer students, freshmen, you guys have heard it from Center for Social Justice and Inclusion. We, of course, would love to have you check out other episodes, the previous episodes, future episodes. By the time you watch this, we would have done a few other episodes. If you would like to keep mastering Maize and Blue, feel free to go to the website. It'll be the university website, UM-Dearborn.edu/mastering Maize and Blue. You can find the past episodes, you can find current episodes, as well as the upcoming schedule for what else we have going on in the summer. And you can also meet the orientation leaders, read their bios, read what makes them special. But that is where you can connect with us. We are your resource. We are a resource as well. We want to make sure you get plugged in and plugged into the right places, whatever floats your boat, whatever gets you excited, whatever wakes you up in the morning. We want to help you get connected to that, because this is your education. This is your time to thrive. So let us help you and get you plugged in. We are excited to. We are here to help you. We want you to get it connected and to get helped and to do amazing things. This is where it starts. So today we heard from Center for Social Justice and Inclusion. Listen to the next episode so that you can hear about whatever else gets you excited. So Bridgit, if you'd like to say goodbye to our students, this is the best time to do so.
I feel like it's the only time to do so. If I said goodbye in the middle of the episode, it wouldn't quite make sense. Just keep using the resources that you have on campus. Never be afraid to ask a question. Someone will have the answer, and if not, we can find a solution with it. And never be afraid to say, I don't know, and continue to keep learning. It's the most important thing. It's always a growing process.
You heard it from Bridgit as well, my wonderful co-host. So this has been Mastering Maize and Blue. As always, go blue, go Dearborn, stay safe, and we will see you soon. Have a great day, everyone.